To make lasting change in your life, it all starts with your self-concept or your identity, which is what you believe about yourself. And in order to understand this, we have to get into what is one of the universal laws, which is the law of correspondence. So the law of correspondence states that whatever is happening around us is happening within us. It's a direct reflection of what's happening within us. You might have heard the saying, as above, so below. And there's also as within, so without. And so that one, the as within, so without, really corresponds with the law of correspondence. So we get in our life, in our everyday life, a reflection of our inner reality. So it's as if we are walking around with a mirror and the mirror is reflecting whatever's going on inside. And so that could be positive things, negative things. But if majority of you is filled with negative things, you're going to reflect more negative things in your life. If majority of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are positive, you're going to be reflecting back more positive things happening in your life. So if things aren't going the way that you want them to in your life, if life is just not panning out the way that you wanted it to, then that is a time for you to really say, okay, if things aren't working in my reality, like what's going on within me? What does my inner landscape look like? Because your inner landscape has to be changed. That inner reality, how you feel about yourself, has to be changed before it will reflect in your outer reality. So your physical reality is merely a projection of all of your thoughts and your beliefs and your emotions that you feel within. That's part of this law. Like it has to reflect whatever's in, it reflects without. So think about this too, and you've probably heard me say this before, but however your reality is a accumulation of all of the thoughts and beliefs and emotions that you have had up until now. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't quite sold on this until I was like, well, you know what? I've tried just about everything. Let's just see what happens. Let's just, for shits and giggles, let's try it out. And it's the fucking truth. It really is. And I have been a healer for, oh my gosh, like almost 10 years now. And this law, and once I started applying it, it just shifted everything. So what do we do to change this? So our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions, that all makes up our identity or our self-concept. And really, to make that lasting change, you have to change your self-concept, how you identify yourself. Because that identity that you have, it not only affects you, it affects how you interact with your outside world and vice versa. It's all going in sync. It's all part of the whole. What one reflects in the other, and vice versa. We tend to change our external, and that's just like you looking in a mirror and you're not liking what the mirror looks like and you're trying to change the mirror. That's not going to work, right? It's the same thing. So if your inner concept, the concept of yourself is that you don't feel good enough, that's your inner reality, then your outside reality will reflect the same. As within, so without. So you will attract situations to you that will reinforce that you are not good enough. Maybe you will always have just enough money, but never extra to do anything else. Maybe you feel like you fall short a lot of the time, or maybe you don't go for things that you really want because you don't feel good enough. You find that a lot of things don't work with you. Maybe your business or product doesn't get off the ground ever, or you find that you are in unfulfilled relationships. It just keeps showing you. It's almost kind of like an alarm clock, like a wake-up call, like, hey, this shit's not happening for you out here. Okay, now it's time for you to look within. It's not these people doing these things for you, or it's just not for me. Your outer reality is literally showing you what you need to work on inside in order for your outer reality to change. And the flip side is true too. If you have more of a positive mindset and a positive beliefs about yourself and thoughts about yourself, you're going to have more positive interactions. You're going to have more abundance. You're going to have things working out for you more. You're going to be presented with experiences and situations that are much more positive. So in order to make these lasting change, we have to come to grips with what is going on within us. And that can be a tough pill to swallow. I'm telling you, I have done it before where I have just kind of like procrastinated a little bit, because it's really like it's you looking within and saying, okay, like this is all in my control, right? And sometimes that's scary to think that, but it's true. And it is a truth that we have to come to grips with, because if we don't, we're going to keep letting other people dictate our lives and tell us how our lives are instead of creating our life. So use this law to help find these subconscious limiting beliefs. You feel like you're stuck in a dead-end job? Go within. You feel like your relationships are shit? Go within. You feel like things don't ever work out for you? Go within. If you're having health problems or trouble getting pregnant, go within. Because there's some kind of limiting belief behind that you are more than likely not aware of that is reflecting your outer reality. So taking a look at what your current self-concept or identity is, what it's showing you subconsciously to be true about yourself and what you deserve and what you believe. And remember, the reason why we get fed up is because most of the time we have been fed that we have to look outside of ourselves. We have to do an action. We have to do a thing, or it is somebody else's problem. And that's why we keep repeating these cycles over and over again. And I know it's frustrating because I did the same thing. So true and lasting change takes place in the reality of your mind. What you think, what you feel, what you believe about yourself is where the first step to change. So I invite you to make a list. What things are not going right in your life, but also what things are going right in your life. You can look at all the positive things as well. But in order, if you're wanting to make a change in your life, if you're wanting to have better confidence, if you're wanting to have better relationships, if you're wanting to open a business, if you're wanting to have more money, more abundance in certain things, and it's just not coming to you, you feel like you're stuck in a pattern, you feel like you're stuck in a rut, that's when you need to look at your outside and you need to do the work inside and dissect and figure out what it is. Because you know what? Once you bring light to whatever this limiting belief is and you are aware of it, it no longer has that control over you anymore.